Okay, so we are going to talk about empower and connect. We're talking about branding templates in Canva. So that is going to be our highlight of today. And again, I am Katrina Cross-Daniels. I'm a speaker and educator, a digital content creator, and a photographer right here in Detroit, Michigan. So not only do I capture branding and headshots for corporate and entrepreneurs, but I also do weddings and women empowerment, which is boudoir photography. So that is one of my passions, is the boudoir photography. And last time I had a different fun fact up here, but this time my fun fact is I am a serial TV series watcher. Like, bring a series to me, and I just want to watch the whole series while I'm working at my computer. So I can go through a series in one sitting. So I do love that. So as we get ready to dive right in, these are some of the things that we are going to overview today. So why branding matters when we're talking about branding our Canva, and what brand storytelling is. And we're going to walk you through where the Canva, the brand kit is, and how to set that up and what it looks like, and design branding templates. And I'm going to do a live demo just to show you some of those things, and then we're going to have a Q&A. So why branding matters. So branding is more than just having your logo. A lot of people feel like if I go here and I create me a logo real quick that I have a brand. But it's more than just the logo. So your brand, it helps the people understand who you are. It helps people connect to you. People recognize brands just from their logos, though. So like Nike and Target, people know certain logos. So branding is very important, but it's a combination of things. It also builds trust. So being consistent with your branding, it makes you look like you are the trust, and people have confidence in you because everything is aligning. It's not just hit or miss. This looks like this over here, but you go over here, you're doing something different. So bringing it all and being cohesive. So what is brand storytelling? It's about the emotional connection. Stories create emotions. It's your visual designs, like it should reflect what your brand voice is. I gotta move some things out of my way too. Hold on. And also, um, the message. So the tone, the visuals, the way you connect with your audience is all gonna help your brand. I gotta move y'all over to the side a little bit. All right. So the next, so elements of a visual brand identity. So to bring this whole brand and make it complete, it can consist of several things. Your logo being one. It can be like your color palette, like what colors identify for you. Like, do you have a set color tone for your brand? Do you have different fonts that, like, these are the fonts that I use, for my branding? And what about it? I'm a photographer, so mine's going to say photography style. Yours may be whatever your business is, bringing that style together. And a tone of voice. What is your tone that you relate to your clients? And then bringing it all together in templates, like if you're doing social media templates, flyers, presentation, and just making sure that those things are all aligned. So using that Canva brand kit, we're going to discuss like where to find the brand kit. And if anybody is on here and you're very fluent already with Canva, and you want to jump in and have a couple things to say, you can do that. This can be interactive. It doesn't have to be just me talking to you. So I would like to know right now, for the people that is on here, do anybody currently use your brand kit in your Canva account? If you have a Canva account, you can just let me know if you do that. And also, we're going to talk about like uploading your logos. Like, is your logo in your brand kit? Do you have your color palettes already set up there? Or we're going to talk about how to do that. And some people have certain fonts that they like to use. So you can also add your font palettes to your font area. And any assets, like, for me, I have a couple things that may be a little shiny glitter. I have several different brands, first of all, so let's start there. With Canva, you can create multiple brands within the Canva account. So that part is great too. So if you have several different brands and you have certain assets, like one of mine, I use this little star. So I make sure that I have that star in there. Another one, I have this little glitter thing. So I have that as an asset over in my brand. And we'll go through what that is and what it looks like. So branding the templates, again, so once you select a template that match your brand vibe, whether it's the modern, vintage, minimum, bold, whatever designs that you feel that relates to your personality, you can create a template and make sure that you brand it to your color palettes. So you can replace the fonts on it, the elements that's in it, all of that right in your brand kit. So when you have a brand kit that's already established, it makes it easier when you're designing things and you're trying to stay on brand, because you can just go right up to your brand area, click it, and it'll automatically put those things into that design versus doing everything, from scratch and always having to go and upload this or go over into your upload area, find this design and then bring it over. Just put it right into a brand. It's like a folder for your brand. Creating different variations. So if you're going to stay on brand, you have things like quotes and other things for social media and announcements and testimonials that you may use and put out in the social media area. You can make sure that all of those things are aligned and looking the part to make you show up and stand up as the professional in your area. So let's see. So brand also is the brand consistency tip. So make sure that you use the same logo placement across the templates. Like, you don't want to have a template and you have one of your logos here and you have another logo of a different brand, like you're mixing logos and put all of that in within a design. Keep your fonts to like 2 to 3 max. I know it's easy to just you like something or you just type it, or you don't even want to customize a template that you're using, but that template may have 6 different font styles on it. So you have to know that, hey, I need to go and change this. I need to edit this to make sure that I'm not using all the fonts that template has. And sticking to your color palettes on it. Again, when we can find templates all day long, and it's easy to just put the information on it and go. But instead of taking the time to say, does this stand on brand for me? Taking that extra moment to make sure that you're making those changes to show up. And you can batch create. So if I'm doing a design and it has, let's say, 8 different pages to it, you don't have to go on each one by one, like get this one fully designed, go to the next one. Now I got to go and bring all the colors over here, change all the fonts. You can do it in one swoop, like hit batch, and it'll change all of the elements at one time over across all of the different pages. And you can also add photos to your brand. So if you have different photos that stand out for you, or if you're using your same headshot all the time, you can add those things into that brand area as well. Anybody have any questions so far at this point? Is everybody good? Following along?
Hi, Miss Katrina. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing?
Good. So when creating, so I'm like experienced in Canva, and I started a brand template, but I don't use it because the colors, it picked the colors out of my logo, which were a little bit darker than what I originally designed. And I haven't figured out how to lighten those colors, but still keep it within the brand template. Do you know how to do that, or would I necessarily have to redesign my logo with the brighter colors?
So your brand consists of multiple colors.
Yes,
and you saying when you create a template and you choose to put your branding on it, it's picking the colors in the brand that you don't really want it to pick?
Yeah. Yeah. So like the colors are teal, purple, and like a Columbia blue. But the teal is not it's not in your greens. It's more of like your bright color teal. But it's picking up a darker color teal. So when it creates a template, the pink and the purple match, but the green doesn't.
Are you sure you put the right number to that color in the brand? Because each color, like, we can eyeball a color, right? And be like, okay, this is a color that's close to what I'm using. Or you can make sure that you're actually using the code that comes with that color. And I can, when I get to the showing and everything, I have my brand.
Okay.
I think I have my brand kit thing on this computer, so I'll pull it up and show you where you find the numbers to the colors. Because once you have that, it should be an exact match of the color, not a variation.
I played around with it, but I don't really know how to use it as far as like, so I don't have no brand templates for my business, or like when I'm posting, I just create everything from scratch.
All right, so stay tuned and continue to get questions together and ask, and we'll go over that part shortly.
Okay, thanks.
Alrighty. Thanks for the question. All right, so also we're going to talk about template folder organizations too. So as you're creating, whether it's a brand or even you just have your Canva in general, there's folders in here that you can make sure that you're putting all of if you want to have Instagram templates, it's easy to get to. If you want to have flyers, you may have quotes, you may have your stories and reels, all in a certain area, so you can easily get to those things. Folders are amazing. So we'll go over that part as well. And then with the live demo that we're going to walk through, we're going to, open up a Canva template. We're going to apply a brand kit. We're going to make sure that you can know how to replace like the photos that may be on it, and customizing the text and moving those things around if needed, and saving that information. So there's a few more things on this slide, but we're going to pause right here, and I'm going to jump over into Canva, and we're going to get started with that. So let's stop sharing.
Thank you, Katrina. While you're pausing, Crystal, I saw that Burns, can you please complete the registration form for this event? I sent the link to you via the chat message.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Got you.
All right, 1 second. So let me know when you guys can see. It should be coming up right now, the Canva. Okay. Hopefully y'all can see the Canva screen right now. Or no?
Yes, we can see your Canva design, recent designs.
Okay. All right. So one thing that we talked about was, opening up a template and how to apply the brand kit. So first, let's know where the brand kit is on here for those who may not know. So over to the side here where you can get back to your home, where you can create a design, there's a project area, templates, and then there's a brand. So within that brand, once you click it, this is where you can create your brand kit. Now I have several different brand kits. Some is mine, some is other companies that I may, do some work for. But we're going to look at this brand kit because this is one I just put together for today. But in case, just to go back a little bit so you can see, here's one brand kit. Here's one for my weddings, one for my boudoir, one for the women's group that I'm in, the Winhers. I know we have a Winher on here right now, so woo-hoo. And outside of that, once you click into it, there's a couple things that you can do. So you can add your logos here. These is just some logos that I had and I added them. So it's just as simple as, add a new logo.
Katrina,
Yes.
do you mind like starting from the beginning, like when you created it first?
Yes. Okay. Let's create a brand new kit. Let me make y'all small so I can see. All right. So in this screen here where it says add new, this is where you would go and add your brand. So we're going to just name this Katrina. All right. So you put your name to your brand. And then you can go and you can add, if you have a logo and you want your logo to be on some of your templates, you go here and you can just upload a logo. So if I go to my desktop, I have a folder called branding. So it is good to start off with like organizing your branding information or creating folders on your computer. So you can easily, when it's time to do things, you can go grab your logo or your, where mine says glitters and stars, those are those added elements that I have. If you got watermarks, if you got fonts that you typically use, you can have those things here. So I am going to, let's just add a Katrina logo. Okay, that's a blue one. And a lot of times when you can't see the stuff what's there, like, you can easily click on things and just hit your space bar and you'll see which one it is. So I'm going to add the blue and I think the white one. So those are the logos I want for that. Now, color palettes. When you go here, you can either, if you have one on your computer or if you know your numbers, you can go and you can click add here, right? So if you add new, this is the area, Crystal, where I was saying where you got to know what your color numbers are. Because this is where you would put it. Like I could easily go and be like, oh, well, mine is, kind of gold and I'm playing around like, well, that's good. Yeah. Okay, I want to get a red. Yeah, that red is, that's good. But it's not the number that was probably assigned to me or that I picked. Let me see.
There's a question in the chat from one of the participants. She has a question that says add guidelines.
She said add guidelines?
Yes. Deely, I hope I'm saying your name properly. You want to ask your question? Oh, wow. It looks like she's no longer on the call. That's okay.
Okay. Let me see if I can move this out the way. But in another, let me just show, because I think I have my brand guide thing. So when I had my branding done professionally, not to say that you have to, but if you know your numbers, you can create this type of thing as well. So I know my hex numbers. So I know when I want my navy blue, this is the number that I'm going for. So I'm going to make sure that in those color palettes that I'm putting these numbers into that palette. So that's what 12213A. So if I wanted to make sure I had my blue, I'll make sure you keep the pound sign, but it's 1 2 2 3 1 A. I think that's what it said. So then that's how you make sure you get your exact color that you're looking for. So when I go to use it into a design, it's not going to be off at all. And you would just go on along and add, all of your colors. So if I knew I had green, so I'm going to do this as if I put in my right numbers. So because I'm showing y'all where to get it from, right? But these are not my brand colors, so I'm just picking some random colors. So that's where you would add, and maybe that's what Deely was asking, like her, because that's what this. Yes.
Excuse me. She is still on the call. She just doesn't have audio. But
okay.
She clarified in the chat that she wanted to know what that link pertained to.
Oh, what the link?
Mm-hmm. The ad guidelines.
Oh, let me see. Ad guidelines. That's... Oh, here is what she's saying. So that's where if you want to get some information, you're working with some other people and you want to make sure like you're telling them, what the guidelines is. Like only use the green color for font. Only use the blue for background. Like so that's what the guideline would be for if you had like other instructions for people to help you manage your branding in your Canva. So with fonts, as you probably saw on my branding, so for like my header, mine is Butler, my subheader, and my bow and my body, and then my accent. You can list all of these and add them to your fonts. So in a way, if I know I want my title to always be, I'm just going to use one that's in here, the Playfair. So whenever I create a design and it has a title on it, it's going to always have my brand of the Playfair. That's the font that I want for all of my titles. And then you can go on down the line. And you may not even use, like, all of these may not be something that you have to design. But if you know you normally have a title, you might have a header, you may even have a sub, you can go and you can fill those things in. So for a sub, if my thing was crimson, and you would just go on down the line. And if your Canva don't have like one of your fonts that you use, you would have to just go into the Canva site and like upload and add your font to it. Like you see where it says here, upload a font. So depending on where the font came from will determine if you can bring it in or not. Like if it's something that you paid for, if it's not like a free Google font, like you can bring those in. If it's a font that needs to be purchased, you have to make sure that you have purchased it because it may ask you for a certain code to bring in a paid font. But this is where you upload other fonts. But if you don't have a font assigned to your brand, but you want to be branded, you can go in here and do it this way. Like, okay, well, I like these particular fonts, so I want all of my stuff to look like this. If y'all want all my quotes, if I ever was to do a quote on something and I want to use it, and I like, I don't know, we just want it. Sometimes when you pick these italic type fonts, depending on what you're using it for, sometimes they wonky. So you got to make sure you got the sizing right and all of that. But you see here where if you select it and it doesn't look right on your design, you can always just bring the sizing down, or make adjustments to it, or say nope, I no longer want that font. And of course I didn't hit save on those, so let me hit. Okay, so they're there. All right, so that's how you do the fonts. And all of these I don't always use, but like in the brand voice, like for my boudoir photography, for example, my brand voice may be, calming, empowering, confident. You would add those type of things to your brand voice. So when you are writing things and you wanted to make sure that it's in your brand voice, you've already told Canva what your brand voice is. And if you have a photo, if you wanted to, add a photo to represent you. I don't know if I have any photos on this laptop. Oh, I got a headshot here. So you can, bring your photos in, and with your graphics, like how I have, let me see. I have a few different type of like glitters that I use on certain things. So I may want to say, okay, well, let me bring some of those in. I may use them. This is where you would do that. All right, is everybody following along so far on how to create your brand? I know, Deb, you wanted to see how to do it from the beginning.
Yeah, that's good. How do you go about knowing what fonts to choose? Do you just choose the one you like, or is there like a rule of thumb, or?
Well, there is a rule of thumb. I'm not like the branding person, but like how I had, when you actually work with a branding person who creates your digital brand like that, they know like this font looks better with this font. Like these kind of work together. Some fonts just don't look good together.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes when you don't know until you putting something together, and you're like, ooh, no, that don't that don't look right. But like I say, the good thing about Canva is it has so many in here that you can play around, and you can find you about 3 and see how you like them and how they show up, as a header, as a, title, and make sure like as you design a few things, like, okay, well, this works, I can deal with this, then great, then that'll be fine. But if it's wonky, you may want to make sure you give it somebody be like, okay, I like this font. What's 2 other fonts that work well with this one?
With that one. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Katrina, before you move on, as you were mentioning how you can upload or customize, a font that you would like to customize to be a certain, I don't know, for whatever reason. That is for a standard account. That's not a required premium account, is it?
Yeah, I believe for standard accounts you can. I am on the pro version, so sometimes it gets a little confused because I just be able to do certain things. And I'd be like, wait a minute.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, so some of the fonts, let's see. I think I added, did I bring some fonts over? So let's see with this Butler. And when you purchase or find fonts on Google that's free, or other font, I think it's one called Defont. When you find a font and you bring them in, sometimes they come over in like different variations of that font, like ultra light, regular, medium, bold, but it's all that same font. So you may get like the whole kit for that one font, which is great if you get all of that. So I'm gonna just see if it'll let us do the medium. I don't know which. Let's see what happens. Please confirm the following. Please upload my custom font. Okay, so it was able to add Butler. But again, I'm not sure because I am working on the pro version. So, but that's how you would do it.
Okay, no worries. I just figured I would ask. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so that's where the brand kit information is. So now we used to go back to our home page, and for example, I think we used this one last time. So I'm gonna bring it back up. I'm gonna do a couple of them just to see. But this was a presentation. So it's several pages to this presentation. So if you already have templates in your Canva, great. But if not, we know we can go to design. You can type in a word, like I think in this one I might have put real estate. It came up with all these different designs here, and then as you scroll past them, you can see it's like, okay, that one has 15 pages. This one, you know, I mean, this one got 10. If you like a design, and that's exactly what I did, and I selected this one here. So, but I'm like, okay, I like this, but this is not my colors at all. So if I was to say, okay, well, let's see if I can make this my brand color. So when I click on brand over here at this point, because I have multiple brands, I can click right here, and it's like, you know, make sure y'all saw that. If you only got one, okay, your brand is going to all show up right here. This is Katrina's brand for that test one we did. But if I wanted to be like, okay, well, I want to use my another brand, the wedding one, I would just hit the drop down and I would select it right here and select that brand. And now all of that stuff is right here. But for this purposes here, we're going to do this one. So now that I'm on this brand here, I want to say, okay, I want to put my colors over here. So I can hit shuffle, and it's going to apply it to that first one. I'm like, oh man, I don't think I really want the yellow to be up there. I can manually go and change this, but before I do all of that manual work, let's hit shuffle again and see what happens. Because now it's going to shuffle through my colors. And, you know, it may be one that I like. Like, oh, okay, I like that. Not quite, you know. So let's say if I say, okay, this one works. So now, okay, well, let me go do the second one. You know, do I got to do the same thing, you know, over here to make that one? I got to shuffle through, you know, but so let's just hit undo, undo, undo. Because if I want to do this all in one walk, you see where this button down here says apply to all? I can just hit that and it's going to put it, the one that I selected, it's going to put it on all of them. And if you don't like this view and the way you're watching the screen, you all know you can hit this grid view right here too. If you just want to make sure you see everything at a glance, like, okay, because you may want to take a page out of here. Like, okay, I don't even need this page. I don't even need this one. This is when you can like look at it at a glance and you can delete whatever you don't want. Or you can select all and you can do however you want to do. But let's just go back. And so under that brand, because we already, let's go back on it. And if I hit apply to all, just like that, all of the pages are now branded with the font. So I didn't have to go one by one and change things. Are y'all still following me with that part? Everybody good?
Yep, we're good.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So that's how you change everything at once. Now I can also say, well, on this one here, I like it, but you know, I wanted to, you know, add one of my graphics. And I just like this one here. So I can bring it in, not to say that I would do this with this one, but you just bring in your elements and you can add that little razzle dazzle or whatever your element is, to your design. I don't have to go all the way back into my uploads, go find it, because I have a ton of things in uploads. So it's just easier if you have it right here in your brand. All right, so let's just come back and bring that back to where we started it. Any questions on batch designing? And if not, so we go back to the home, back to my home. So we talked about open, branding, and replacing. I guess it's thinking a little bit. And that works well too when you are doing like social media posts as well, or quotes. Like you can purchase templates from like Etsy, or people sell different things. So and all that will work the same way. If I had this packet here, and I just really wanted to, work on, let's see, one of these designs, because I want to post on social media, really fast, and I just really want to change something. I'm like, okay, well, let me just add my brand. And again, when I was telling you guys that you don't have to do the shuffle, you can click on the color if you just want to also go right to it. Like, I don't want it yellow. I don't want it to shuffle and mix all that. I just know I want it to be green right off the bat. Your colors show up right over here once you click on the color. So you can easily, do that. If I wanted that secret, let's see, and that butler that I added is there now, because butler was not in Canva, when I did it before. But if I wanted to make this a header and get rid of that there, save. So, and it'll just easily already have the brand. I hit header. I knew it was going to be that bolded number, that font, and it's there. If I know I wanted to put my photo on it before I have to go dig for it, I can just come and add it. So that's the benefit of having a brand kit ready to go. So let's go back to, let me undo. Do we have any other questions at this point, or still no? All right, so there's one other thing in here. And are you all familiar with, if you are doing a presentation, whether it was branded or not, and say, I found a presentation here. This is just another one that I had in my Canva. So whether you had it in there already or you got it, but you like, oh man, I gotta customize this whole thing. I gotta now go redo my whole About Me page, but I had an About Me page on another presentation. You know, you can go get that page from another design without having to redo it here. And if you don't know that, like if you got it pulled up, you can click on projects while you have that page up, the About Me. So on this side over here, if you click on projects and some of the different projects that I may have done or I may have saved. And I know we're going to talk about folders next too. Oh, go ahead. You had a question?
Yeah, so this is Shanice. My question is about exactly what you're doing right now. I want to see, like you said, if it's a presentation, how can I pull in one slide from another presentation into the same one? And sometimes we use like when we create flyers or maybe even a Facebook post, and we really want the same information, but it's a different size. How do you pull that information that's already created into an existing presentation?
Yeah. So I'm on this presentation and I'm on this About Me page, and this, I don't want to redo this About Me page. So when I click on that project tab that was over here, it brought up different projects that I had. So I can go find a project. Like the last Canva class that we did, I have it over here, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah, I got an About Me over in there. So I can click on that presentation, which I just did. Did y'all see me do that? Or do I need to go back? Okay.
You can see it.
All right, so it pulled up. This is the whole presentation, page by page, all the way to the end. So this was the last one. I can now just click on this page here and it replaces that other one. So now in this new presentation, it has the new About Me without me having to go and redo it. So
did it change the format to the new presentation too?
It changed because it brought in that page. So now if I was to, go and make this page, and keep in mind, this presentation that I just pulled up was not branded. That was just one that I had. But if I was to now go and brand this page, so say if this was a branded page, I can now come back right to the brand and add that brand page to that. So if this was that yellow one, whatever, so now it's going to be back to where it was at. I can change the title, but at least the information is still there. Like I don't have to go and recreate the wheel and do all the stuff again. And in this same example, if I wanted to bring in, so let's say I wanted to bring in a whole nother page from my presentation, or it could have been from another presentation. Well, y'all don't need to see big bar right now. Well, it may be. So if I was to, go and say, well, let's bring in, this is something I did back when the pandemic happened. You can bring in, another page that way. You can also, let me see where it says add a page. So say if I didn't want it to replace something, I just want to bring in a different one, then that's when you just hit add a page and then you bring in the new thing. So you can grab stuff from another area and bring it into the new thing and make the changes there.
Yeah, I'm following along with you. This is amazing. I'm trying to see if I can bring in not a presentation, but it's like a flyer. I should say it's a Facebook size item that we created in Canva, and I do want to drop that. I just want to take that Facebook size post and put it in my presentation.
Okay. And with the, anyone on here have you done the update to Canva? Has anybody done the update?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did too.
Okay. So let me go back to the home page. Canva is always doing some type of update, but one of their latest updates that they did, it was just simply amazing, I would say. Meaning, if you were to, let me just start something from scratch. If I was to create an Instagram post, so it's just going to be this one thing here. I don't know why my computer is really slowing up. So I can start it from scratch. I can grab a template that's in here. You can type a word for a template or anything that you want. But okay, let's say if you use one that's here, like you scrolling down, they're giving you some templates for this IG post. And I'm like, okay, this one looks, pretty good. So by the time you like add your photos to this, add your wording to it and everything, you have to now say, okay, but dang, now I want to do a Facebook post. Like this is an Instagram post, or I may want to do a story. So I would have to go and recreate a whole nother, come out of this and go back into and create a whole nother design for a story because it's shaped differently, right? So you can't do it on this same thread, but I really want to keep all of this together. The new update allows you to now, when you add a page, it's not going to just add this same page. It's giving you options. Like, what do you want to add now? You can click this. So now I can say, oh, okay, I want to do something different for social media. Or I may want to add a whole presentation right now. Everything is going to be in this one area now. So if I wanted to now do this story, it stayed, the template stayed right here for me to do it. So that one was a post, but now this one is going to be a story. I don't know if y'all saw how it's shaped different. You couldn't do that before. So, so if I was to do this, and let's just say I wanted to do another Instagram, but now we're just going to do a Facebook post, this landscape. And let's just go and upload. So let's just say, okay, we put that over there. And her photo there. But now I wanted to add a page, but I wanted to go into my projects. I don't have anything in Instagram. But okay, let's just see what this is. Promotional. Oh, yeah, Kanisha, who I was playing with something with her photos one day. So I wanted to bring that over into here. So that's how you still, like, you having everything together, but now you're going to get a post from something else and bringing it, but now they're all still together. Like, now I got everything that I'm working on in one seamless area. So that's how you would do that part.
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing.
So now
Okay, so
you don't have to do all that in and out type stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so question. I'm sorry, whoever was just speaking, I did not mean to cut you off. Okay, with these multiple designs, so this is as if you're doing Instagram. So is this creating like a reel an Instagram post and whatever else you want to post as far as this all for Instagram, or is this like, I didn't understand that because I watched the actual live. I watched the live when it launched the new version and all the updates on Canva, and I didn't understand that. It's a plus to like being able to design for Facebook, Instagram, or whatever else, or TikTok, whatever social media platform you're going for. But this designer here, where you're working at right now, is this just for Instagram, or is this a multiple?
This is multiple. Like what I was saying before, like if I was creating an Instagram post, like what this first one was, I was going to design this to be a post. And then if I also wanted to make that do a story, I would have had to like almost like finish this, come back to the main screen. Let me Did y'all know? Oh, you can also name your stuff right up here too, just so y'all know, because I know everybody don't do everything the same. But like before, like you can go to file, you can name it here, but you can also just go right up to the top and name a design too.
Okay.
Just so you know. Okay, so, Somebody saying
something? Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, so before, like if I was just making a Instagram post right here and I was done with it, I would have had to come back out of here, go back to the home page. I then would have had to type in, whenever this decides to move for me, I would have to type in Instagram stories. So, and then, once you do Instagram story, now I got to go and design it like either blank or get a template from over there. And now I got to go and design a story. So the beauty of what I was doing in that last post was you can now, instead of having to go back and forth in and out from a story to a reel to a TikTok to a presentation to whatever it is you're doing, you can do it all right here. Like I can just hit add a page. Okay, I don't want to do that's just adding a page. Add a type. Now I don't want to do another Instagram story. I want to do a post, or I want to do a TikTok. I want to do a video. So now you can just keep staying in this one area, working on everything that you get ready to design today for this one particular thing. You can do it all right here. Like just keep going. Like, okay, now let me create a presentation too, while I'm at this. And you can go find a template and bring in a presentation right here. But you're still in this one design. Like if you look at it as a whole, like you did your story, you did another story, you did a TikTok, you did a presentation. Everything is right here.
Got you. Okay.
So that is definitely a game changer with the way this thing works.
Yeah, I wish they would add a print button from inside of Canva.
Yeah.
If you print versus having to download and then go through your whatever you use, your file manager, and then have to print off whatever it is that you're printing off. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Canva does really well with getting feedback, like asking for recommendations on things. A lot of those things that you saw on the Canva Live when they showed the new things that came out was from people asking for changes. So
because I mean that. So I was just creating an obituary, so definitely appreciate it.
Okay, and so once we go back, now I know I said I was going to show you guys about folders. Do everybody know about folders before we even take the time to even show you that? Do anybody need to see how to create a folder?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Just so I can make sure I'm doing it right.
Okay.
Because I do more stuff.
Yes.
I just have everything in my home page.
And that's one thing that I keep asking Canva for. And then one day it's going to happen where everything, even though I put stuff in folders, everything still live on this home page. And I just want it all gone off of the home page and only be in the folders. So they have not done that part yet. But say if I created that Instagram group thing that we just did, if you was to go to these 3 dots over there, so this is like one way to get to it. Maybe up here too. Let's see. But if you go to these 3 dots, you can be like, okay, I want to now move that to a folder. Because I want all my Instagram stuff to live in the same area. So you could move to a folder. If you don't already have it, like I already created several folders, but you just hit create new. So you create new and you can be like, these are my, all the presentations for this company is going to all get moved to this folder. So now, if you get another presentation, you can easily go find something you already did and be like, okay, let me go add that one, to that folder as well. And so that's one way of adding to the folders. Let me see. The templates. Let's see, we had another area where you can just go right to the folders too. Oh, let's see, your designs. But this new Canva, they done moved my whole Canva, if you haven't upgraded, it looks different than probably what yours look like because when they changed it, they moved stuff around.
I have a question. So I just created that folder. Now I'm wondering, when I move a presentation to a folder, where do I go find that folder?
That's what I'm trying to see. Where did they move the folders to? So when you hit projects, I think this is where they're at. Yeah. Okay. When you hit projects, now you see this tab that says all folders, design. So this is where they're going to live at. So all my folders is here. So that one I just created, it got one item in it. That's where it's at. But like, you will start creating so many folders just because you want certain things to be in a certain area. And this is what I mean when I say I wish they would just stay here instead of still living on my homepage. I want them just in the folders.
I have to ask this question because this is a good point. Would you just share with us how we can just add stuff to an existing presentation? I have like 10, 15 copies of the same presentation because I'm trying to make one change to it. What recommendations would you have so I can clear out this home page that has multiple copies of the same presentations?
But you only need the last one? You don't need the other ones, right?
Right. Most of the time I'm just changing a date or adding a slide to it.
Yeah. If the other ones are, you don't even need to go back to them, I would just delete them.
Okay.
I would just keep maybe the last 2 versions, but I wouldn't need to keep all the other ones. Because if you're going to just keep changing the date and it's going to be a new one, yeah, I would just get rid of those.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because I just sometimes just change a couple pieces of information on the slide. I have like 50 copies of this. I'm exaggerating. 10 copies of the same thing. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this is where you can define all of your designs, your folders. If you like ever download I should have waited for I hit image. Oh, sorry. Hold on, I forget. I'm a photographer, y'all. Sorry, I got all kind of photos. But like any photos that I uploaded to the Canva, like that area you saw at the top where it said folders, images, all of that would be right there. So let's come out of that. All right, so we talked about folders. We talked about how to do a template, how to brand a template, how to shuffle the colors of that template. If you don't want to do the shuffle, you can just click on the color, the little circle at the top, and you can go right to that color that you want. You can replace an image on a design. I know the last time, recap for those who missed it, we did a lot of stuff last time. We removed backgrounds, we animated some things, and we can talk more about if you need to do further or talk to me further about Canva, we can do that. I know this meeting was really about branding and getting your brand kit together. So we talked about batching everything instead of having to do one thing at a time. You can hit select all and change the branding on everything. We talked about how you can use another page from another document, how to import it in to that one. You can do that. Or you can just, instead of, either change it or import a different page. Yeah, I think we've talked about quite a bit. Any questions about branding, or we talked about fonts and uploading your fonts as well. So I think we've covered a lot in between this little short time, but any questions?
I have a question. So you was like on the brand templates. When you say if you're creating a flyer, maybe for, we'll just say Father's Day coming up, and outside of that, your brand template, do you use that also on your flyer? Can you incorporate that on your flyer? Or do you just add your logo on to the flyer?
If you're doing a template for Father's Day?
Yeah, so say if you was doing a promotion for Father's Day, right? And so, example, normally I just add my logo onto whatever I'm doing, whatever flyer I'm doing. Or if it's promoting it on social media, I just add the logo versus like, can you go into the brand template folder and create a template that has your logo on it, but then it also has what other information you want on it.
No, your brand template is only going to be housing logos, your colors, your fonts. It's not going to have a whole design ready.
Okay.
No, you just have to go and create that design and save it into a folder. So long as it's there in that folder, and if that's what you wanted to use, I don't know, just picking that for example. If I was to do that one and I use the brand and put my colors on it, let's go with.
Okay, so it would just shuffle your color schemes in your brand template or whatever your color.
Yeah, that's all that part is going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you just wanted to add your logo to it, so now I got my logo on this design. Yeah, I would just save this and make sure that I now put this in a Father's Day or a what they call it, promotional folder.
Mm-hmm.
And so every Father's Day that come up, if you just wanted to use the same thing but change out the image or move something a little bit around, then you can do that. But the hard work is already done.
It's already done. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So that's how you do that. And one of the last things is, like if you was to go and to share, share that, either you can, like you say, download it, to share. So if you was to hit download, make sure like all of this stuff is important. Like what are you using it for? It would determine if you're using it as a JPEG, is it a PNG, if it has anything like moving on it. Like somebody had created something and they put like the animated, I don't know, something. Let's just see if it would do that. So say if you animate the little things. I don't know if y'all saw that. When I clicked on it, so whenever this was to be posted or whatever, those little hearts or flowers would move for a hot second. So somebody was like, oh, but mine didn't do that when I posted it. It's because when you went to share it and download it, you didn't download it as an MP4. You might have did it as a PNG, so now it's just an image.
It's just an image, right, okay.
So all of those things, the way you download and save things are going to be very key and important. So just know what you're saving. Yeah, and I think we were going to head back to the end of the presentation. We had a couple more little things. So I'm going to stop for one moment, and we are almost done here. So.
But no, you said we're almost done. We've covered so much.
I know, so much stuff.
This is amazing. Thanks, Katrina, in advance.
Oh, you are so welcome. So let me come back to Zoom.
I'm sitting here deleting all of my copies of copy stuff.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and delete that. It's a lot. So coming back to the presentation, so we've just done our live demo, and we went through a lot of these things: the templates, the brand, the placeholders, the customize and layout text and images, and how to save it. So one of the bonus and quick strategies for your brand visuals is to make sure, if you do have a tone to your voice, that you add that in that brand too. So if you ever create like a presentation, something that's going to be fully like a lot of text, it's going to pick up on how to be empowering, how to be gentle, how to be fun and bold. Those are your mind. And make sure that you're choosing designs and shapes that match, your tone, and reflecting that same voice. And as we wrapped up, so just remember connection and clarity. So branding is about connection and being in clarity. Clients want to connect with you, and they want to understand and know who they're talking to. They don't want it to be all over the place. One day you green, one day you brown, one day you and none of these colors part of your brand colors. You're just going with whatever template you find in Canva. So go ahead and try to brand those out if you're going to use them. Consistency. Templates help you show up. So you can go ahead and create these folders and have things ready to go. Even if you don't have the image in the placeholder yet, but you got a placeholder image there, all you got to do is put in the photo that you want. But you can create the content now and have it sitting and ready. Okay, and so Canva makes it easy. And if there's other resources, Canva do have a Canva Learn and they have a design school as part of the Canva. So you can search the design school in Canva, and it's videos all over the place. There's free template packets, YouTube. And so now it'll be our final time for any Q&A. Stay connected. I am Katrina Cross Photography on all social medias and my website. So you can find me there. If you don't have Canva Pro, they do have a free trial, so you can try it out. The regular Canva works fine. You don't need Canva Pro, but just know if you design something and you really like certain features in Canva, the regular one don't have it, you just have to either redo that design, change some things up, take that element off, or you may not be able to get that particular font, but you still can have beautiful designs with the regular Canva. Yeah. So you can still ask questions, but thank you. And if any questions there, I just want to remind y'all, practice, practice, practice. For those who didn't get the freebie before, there's a self-care planner. It's a freebie that was designed all in Canva. And so it can show you what you can do. So you can scan that first QR code so you can get that. And then this is my IG to take you right to one of my IG accounts. And that is it, guys. And you all can come off mute, or you can ask questions or anything like that.
I think we're like so excited right now. You see all the hearts and the love that's coming through in the chat. Thank you so much, Katrina. I will ask that before everyone leave, two things. We do have a feedback survey that I mentioned earlier on that we need you all